Zola!
Zola! You're done!
You're dead! You're dead! Delphinium, come back!
The darkness has been broken and the world is being absorbed.
Zola!
But you must have had a reason. There must be some purpose for you to do this. That's right. You'd never do something like this without a reason, would you?
Or is someone forcing you?
This may come as a surprise, but nobody told me to do this. I'm doing it of my own will.
You used us this whole time, right from the very start?
Everyone uses everyone else, Jiro. That's the way of the world. But I will say this. Everything that I've done on this journey was solely for my goal of releasing the darkness.
So everything went just as you planned, did it? All of this! Recruiting us for the journey, having us risk our lives to infiltrate Grand Kingdom, getting all of us to gain power, even defeating Nene. They were all just moves in some chess game you were playing then?
I think that you have the wrong idea, Jiro.
What's that?
I, for one, certainly don't recall forcing any of you to do anything against your will. Every step of the way, you made up your own minds. You chose to take these actions.
That's not the truth, Zola. You may not have used words to convince them or to coerce them into doing what you want, but nonetheless, you manipulated these children to achieve your ends. There's no denying that.
Well, it is true that they did exactly what I wanted, just like somebody else did. Logi.
Zola, what is your point here anyway? Just what do you hope to accomplish by doing all of this?
All of this? And just what exactly are you referring to?
What kind of question is that, Zola? The darkness consuming the world, of course!
Darkness! Darkness!
Do I have to explain it all again? I'm restoring normalcy. I'm returning the world to its rightful form, to the darkness that was its original state.
But... hold on!
Shu, do you remember? One of the first things I said to you?
What's it like being a Night Master?
I don't know, because unfortunately I don't happen to be one. In fact, if I was to be perfectly honest with you, I may not necessarily even be your ally.
Yeah, I do! What about it?
My only allegiance is to restoring the world.
Jiro! No, don't! Zola! Why?
Jiro, how many times have I told you, you have to control your emotions? Now let me tell all of you an interesting little story.
What could you possibly have to say to any of us now? We're here because you're attempting to destroy the whole world! Enough talking!
Wait!
Huh?
Model?
I want to hear it!
Very well. I will tell you a story from the very start of the world. A long time ago, back when the world first came into being, light was created. All living things were lit by a beautiful glow, and peace filled the universe. It was a time of great prosperity. It was thought that the world of light was the destiny of the universe, that it was something that was always meant to be. However, humans craved even more than what they had been given. They desired not only light, but darkness as well. Their wish was granted, and darkness appeared throughout the land, but it also spread into the very hearts of humanity. It was in that moment that darkness was born into the world.
The Book of the Beginning. isn't it?
What's the point of this?
The story says that the light came into being first, as if it were destined to be. But that isn't the truth. That light came first is just a story, a lie humanity tells to make itself feel better. Light can't exist without darkness. The truth is quite the opposite story. Darkness is what came first. Darkness controlled everything when the world was first created.
I don't get it. What's the big deal, Motto?
And for a long time before mankind ever even came into being, darkness reigned over this world as its supreme ruler. As time passed and the darkness evolved, it morphed into various forms. And one of the mutations the darkness transformed into was the Shadow Wielder.
Not true! That can't be! Darkness is what powers Shadow Wielders?
Yes, exactly. Every single one of us was born from the darkness. Shadow Wielders, and in fact every living thing, wouldn't even have come into being without the darkness. Shadow Wielders were actually an entirely new species. When they first appeared, they weren't considered to be a threat to the darkness that spawned them. However, they quickly grew in number and soon gave birth to a new mankind. In time, some Shadow Wielders formed a partnership with humanity. They had the audacity to wage a war against the very darkness that had created them. As is to be expected, the tide of battle quickly turned in favor of the darkness. After all, as powerful as they were, the Shadow Wielders only had access to a small portion of the vast power available to the darkness itself. As the number of Shadow Wielders and rebel humans declined, it appeared that the darkness would achieve a quick and decisive victory. However, the mantle of battle was taken up by the 7 Soldiers of Light, Shadow Wielders with incredible power. So the darkness was sealed away by your ancestors. The Soldiers of Light used their powers artfully, but they sent the world in a direction that it was never intended to go. All that I'm doing now is correcting their mistake. I'm simply returning the world to its correct form, the way it was originally intended to be. And if anyone gets in the way of that goal, I'll make sure that they're not in the way for long.
Protecting this darkness is so important that you'd even fight children. Is that right, Zola?
No way! I just won't believe this! Please, Zola, say this is all a bad joke or something! There's gotta be a reason, right? Somebody's controlling you! Or you're not really you! Whatever it is, we can help you! Please just go back to the way you were. Okay.
Zola.
It seems that words are no longer sufficient. Shu, you should be satisfied now.
Yes, I agree.
Zola! I want you to tell me just one last thing.
You've made me mad enough to use all my power against you! Yeah! Dark Symphony!
Oi, listen up. What do you call a dragon with cold feet then, eh? A wedding crusher!
Blue Dragon and Cartoon Network Ice Block is back on Cartoon Network.
I want you to tell me just one last thing. Tell the truth. Were we ever really friends?
Huh?
The truth, Shu. No, I never counted you as a friend.
No, Shu!
Mono.